Hey everybody, I am talking about a hot topic today, bullies. With schools back in full swing for most of our kids, it's been a topic that has been on my mind a lot lately. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that we can stay connected and for you to be notified when there are new videos to watch. The title of this video references an incident that took place on the Wendy Williams talk show about a year ago. I've provided a link down in the description to the Entertainment Tonight episode that talked about this particular incident, but basically to sum up, she openly mocked and made fun of Joaquin Phoenix and his cleft. Now, just about everybody has experienced bullying of one form or another at some point in their lives. And in particular, our adolescent years is where most of us tend to encounter this type of behavior. Those of us with clefts or other facial differences know all too well the pain that comes from being called out because of those differences. Now, in my experience, I've found that those that tended to bully me in my younger years ended up growing out of that kind of behavior as they became adults. I can say that for me, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I have been outright bullied for my cleft once I graduated high school. That's why what Wendy Williams did on her show is just outright ridiculous and even harder to believe. Now, I don't claim to know much about Wendy Williams. I haven't ever watched her show. But from what the commentators had to say on the Entertainment Tonight videos, this is kind of her thing. She likes to take digs at people and be a bit, I guess as they would say, provocative in what she has to say. And the thing that got me was not only was she openly mocking Joaquin Phoenix and his cleft, she in fact doubled down on it. She does appear at one point to catch herself before she uses the H word. Those of you in the cleft community probably know what word I'm talking about. It's highly derogatory and offensive to those of us in the community, so I won't mention it here. But she didn't use that as an opportunity to stop. She pressed on and continued and used her finger on her lip to simulate what she thinks a cleft looks like. Now, for the good part from all of this, the amount of outcry and calls for Wendy Williams to apologize was swift and loud. From professional football players to everyday watchers of her show, she was confronted and held accountable for the words that she said. Now, for me, no response was more enjoyable than that from Cher. Now let me say, I am all for taking the high road in most cases, where it is often better to not engage with a bully if you can help it. But Cher came out with both guns blazing, and not only did she not accept Wendy Williams' apology, she let Wendy have it for her blatant lack of empathy for others. It was great. Now, from my experience living with a cleft, of course I encountered and experienced all sorts of emotional situations, emotional challenges, and bullying was definitely a part of that. But I'd like to take a moment and share with you one experience from my own youth where I was confronted with my own Wendy Williams, but luckily I had a Cher that had my back. This particular situation was happening one day at lunch. In the cafeteria, sitting down at the table, everybody, of course, there doing the same. And for some reason, this particular person, who I'd had some issues with in the past, with her teasing and bullying me, for some reason decided that that time at lunch was when she was really going to come after me. Now, I chose, instead of engaging with her, I chose to remove myself from the situation, and I left the cafeteria. But unbeknownst to me, after I had left the cafeteria and removed myself from the situation, a group of the most popular girls in my middle school came to my defense. They confronted this bully directly about what she was doing to me, and they, in no uncertain terms, told her to leave me alone. And I will never forget how that felt in that moment, to know that although I knew these girls, we weren't very close. Like I said, they were the most popular girls in middle school. But the fact that they stood up for me when they knew that what was happening was wrong, I can't even tell you just how much that meant to me. Those girls were my Cher at the moment that I needed somebody to stick up for me. I still remember it so clearly, and I will never forget those girls that had my back when I needed it most. So, in a world that seems to be filled with Wendy Williams, choose to be a Cher. Stick up for those that are tired of having to weather their struggles alone. Stand up for an injustice that is being done to others that have less power than you. Trust me, it will make all the difference in the world to that person, that someone anyone was in their corner. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.